Lots of applause to tunes. This one all the way to front, the one and only Rick Pistol. Here he is.
Don't fucking patronise me. Evening. Did you hear that, American girls? You won't know this, I'm fucking huge here. It's true. If you want to have sex with me later, just give me your phone numbers now, because it's going to be a mass panic afterwards. I should explain to a few of you, because you're looking at me, especially down the front, like you're very, very scared. I'm not a member of the BNP. And I look that way. I should explain to you girls as well. The BNP here is a bit like the KKK, but they're not quite as interested in the bed linen. So I'm not a member of the BNP, but I'm a member of the MPB, which is male pattern baldness, of course. Good to see some of my brothers here tonight. Some of them hiding at the back, but you know what? Props to Norman. Bang it out there, Norman, man. Keeping it real for the baldies, that's what I like to see. I do suffer from white guilt, like most white people. You live in fear of being accused of being a racist, and of course if you're Caucasian, then your only kind of comeback by being accused of being racist is to say, but I can't be, most of my friends are. Black, Asian, Eskimo, whatever it might be. But I've actually heard a better one to use now. I saw two girls about 14 on the streets the other day, and one of them was saying to the other, "You can't say that, man, that is like well racist." And the other mother said, "How can I be racist? I watch Rasta Mouse." Now what I've done there is separate the room into two sections. Those of you who have small children at home, and those of you with a life. I've been with my wife for 11 years, we've been married for 7 years. And I'm looking at the table of single guys over here, Tim and Mike particularly, and thinking I have to live vicariously through my single friends, so if you don't mind afterwards, can I just sniff your fingers just quickly? That'd be... Oh, come on. She's already told us she's popped 4 out and she's cut all up here. She has no shame. I like that in a woman. I was in a public toilet earlier today and I saw a sign above the toilet that said, "Please leave this toilet in the manner in which you would expect to find it." I have 2 kids at home under 3. So I pissed on the floor, shat on the seat, and then smeared everything with raspberry jam. My eldest is my favourite. He's, I know it's not really fair, is it, to say that. He's potty training. You're not really supposed to have a favourite child, but the way I look at it is, given the fact we're all inevitably going to die in some sort of nuclear holocaust at some point, it's worth working out in advance which one you'd rather eat first. I think one of the problems we've had recently with all the stuff in the news about Gaddafi, etc., is that it's taking the onus off the really important business like Japan. We've seemed to have forgotten about what's happened in Fukushima, and I think that nuclear disaster, when that happened, I saw a lot of positive in it. I don't know about you, but what I saw was people helping each other out, looking out for their communities, giving each other a lift up. We're pretty useless at that, I think. Particularly people in London who won't give you the time of day. Someone falls dead in front of you, you kind of casually step over him on your way to work. But in Fukushima, helping each other out. And I think that was a really interesting insight into the Japanese mentality. And really finally now we can say we know what makes the Japanese tick. A Geiger counter, apparently. And if you didn't like that, you won't like the next few. So if you want to borrow that mute sign, help yourself. I'm pissed off because I've just bought myself a new car. It's the new Renault Clitoris. It's a nice smooth ride, but I parked it somewhere and now I can't find the fucking car. Aren't people with chronic fatigue syndrome selfish? It's all M-E, M-E, M-E. I've got some interesting stuff to show you. I'm going to raise the tone of the evening after the clitoris jokes by sharing some poetry. Who likes poetry?
Yeah!
Oh, tough shit, I'm doing it anyway. So, this first one here is it's called Spot. Spot on my bot. It was a big un. I squeezed its white head. The pus hit Wigan. The next one is a bit lighter. It's about an issue that was close to the hearts of everyone here, I know. It's something that really engaged the whole of our country. It probably made international news. You probably heard of this as well. But it was when the whole country as one went out to vote on the alternative voting referendum, whether it should be a yes or a no. I'm right in thinking, I'm talking to the converted here, aren't I? We're all enthralled by that debate about whether we should stick with the old system of simple plurality, which is difficult to say, that's why we have to lose it, and or whether we should change to the alternative voting system, which so this is called Reflections on the Alternative Voting System Referendum. No one nicks my material. Start when you're quiet. Still one. Is all this talk of proportional representation merely political masturbation? Yes. Oh, this is what I was going to show you. This is great. There's going to be loads of headlines in the paper over the next few days about Gaddafi, but this is my favourite one. This is a genuine headline. It came out months ago. I think this is March. And it comes from the Daily Star. This is genuine. Other low-quality newspapers are available. Norman, you will have seen this. You're a cab driver. You've either seen this or the Daily Mail, basically. So stop looking at Cheryl Cole. That's not the headline. The headline here is Gaddafi on the run with 40 virgins. Did anyone see that? No, I honestly have not made this up. This is a genuine paper. It's fantastic. So that means there's a copy of this somewhere in the British Library, which I think is brilliant. I happen to be at a Star Trek convention. A cheer for Star Trek. Who was that? The geek in the corner, yeah. I can't do it. But I was at a Star Trek convention when the news broke that Gaddafi was looking for 40 virgins to go on the run with, and there was mass panic. It was ugly, a lot of fat men trying to escape from the room. As it turned out, I was the only person in the room who'd actually had sex with someone other than themselves, so I'm their leader now, which is good, yay me. I've written a very brief poem here. This is about the Libyan people's struggle. That Colonel Gaddafi is having a laughy. Thank you. In the light of the recent public unrest, I've been making a handmade superhero suit to become a vigilante. Thanks for that. Laughter of derision. For my alter ego superhero character, Morose Man. I've just finished making my futility belt. Just fuck all. So this is a poem that's inspired me. This is called Looting and Tooting. A bunch of selfish little fucks got strange ideas in their head. They could have burnt down a Starbucks, but they went for smaller shops instead. They were nicking from containers and wearing hoodies in disguise, but I'm glad they nicked the trainers. It looks like they need the exercise. Applause for rioting now. I'm just going to leave you with, am I right to tell a very quick story? Yeah, okay, this is absolutely true as well. I recently had a vasectomy. It was a joint decision. My wife was carrying 2 bricks when I got home and said it was either NHS or DIY. If I was showing off, I should have said my penis is so large she was carrying breeze blocks to do it, but no, they were Lego bricks. So basically I booked myself in for a vasectomy, and how many men in the room, honestly now, how many of you men have actually named your penis? No, none of you. I'm the only one. Liars. Liars. Men have names for their penises. Girls at that table, you'll know this. Once you've been dating these guys for a few months, you'll know. They'll pull it out of the bag, they'll refer to it in the third person for some reason. Mine's called Richard Hammond. Just because it's a tiny, hairy, overexcited little cock. Thank you for that. So I went to get my vasectomy, and I've heard all the jokes already. With a name like Pistol, you kind of leave yourself open to it. Is the pistol firing blanks? Should you call yourself Starter Pistol? Ricky got no dicky. Kids are cruel, aren't they, really? I've just learned to speak. And what really kind of surprised me when I went into the room, if any of you men are actually having thoughts about getting this done, is that there were three people. There was the surgeon, there was the surgeon's assistant, and a random woman who just happened to be there, who stood, obviously I'm lying down, who stood down my head end so I couldn't even see what she was doing. I assume she won some sort of competition. I'm not sure, but... Or she was maybe grading the penises, I don't know. I either got a 6 or a 9, it was hard to read upside down, but she was there for no reason. Now what got me is, it's not the injection they give you, and it's not the snip itself that's the bad thing, it really genuinely isn't. What gets you is the smell. Because what they do when they clip your cord is, they've got to cauterize it. That means that's a long word, and it means burn. Okay, so So, they have to seal it shut. Now, I don't care who you are, Adolf Hitler, Osama bin Laden, Nick Clegg, it doesn't matter. No man should have to smell their own burning bollocks. It's not something I ever want to smell again. It's really, really horrible. Now, when I'd finished, what happened is I came out of the room, I was doing the John Wayne walk, and John Wayne, having been in the saddle for 3 weeks and having shat himself on day 1, is kind of the walk I was doing. Gingerly, very gingerly, back to a chair, and I sat down and the radio was on, and this is proof that God not only exists, but he hates us. The song that came on the radio, I swear on my children's lives this is true, went, "Oh, your sex is on fire." Oh yeah, there is the proof right there, but this is the payoff. You get a letter from Mary Stopes after you've had the snip, right? You can check this out, this is absolutely genuine, and it says, and I quote, "Your body will produce ejaculate," that's sperm, "which contain residual stored sperm for some weeks after the vasectomy, which need to be cleared from your system. This usually requires at least 24 ejaculations before testing can begin." Okay. Then it goes on to say, false positive tests, and this is why we need to do more tests, but here's the important line. "These dates are some months ahead, as you need many ejaculations to clear the tubes of existing sperm." Yeah! This is my licence to wank. This is super. Never mind James Bond. This is how it goes, mate. I asked my doctor, how many wanks does that actually equate to? It says a lot. And he said, 3 a day? I'm not cutting down. But I can't wait to use this as an excuse. I'm going to go to Morrison's and just whip Richard Hammond out and start going for it and see what happens. And when the security guard jumps on me and says, "Hey, doctor's orders." And I think I may be doing it too much because the consistency to start with, without being too graphic obviously, was it was a bit like Quaker's Oats to start with, but now it's a bit more like that kind of syrupy milk that comes off bacon when you cook it. I'd like to leave on a groan. Thank you very much. I've been Rick Pistol. Fuck you.
Right, big round of applause, come on.